This is like just the setup for this that I want to give you guys is, where I got that particular story from. Her name is Chong Kim. That's Chong, and last name Kim. And she witnessed this. This is there was a movie made on her life.
Yeah.
It's called Eden. And when she caught wind of the script that I wrote that I was trying to get made, my movie called Beautiful Chaos, she was like, bro, that's the most realistic thing that I've ever read. She goes, with mine, they took my life rights and they changed so much of the story for the entertainment industry. And she was like, and she had no say so. They kept her like in the background. So it was a bad deal, bad situation, even though that movie did pretty good kind of in the quote unquote indie circuit or underground.
Right.
The most that we've seen as a society dealing with this out front is the movie Taken. That movie, I think, is what woke a lot of people up.
Yeah.
But along the way, what was powerful about that movie is he's kicking ass. He's killing everyone on the way to get his daughter.
Right.
So the emphasis for me when I was sitting in the theater, when I watched, what stood out to me was the girls that got left behind. He broke into a place on a lead, and he was looking through curtains, and it was like a warehouse, and they had the poles and curtains, and behind each curtain was a bed and a girl that was strung out on drugs, and she was handcuffed to the bed in every one of these curtains. He was looking for his daughter. He opened one curtain and saw his daughter's jacket. Then he pulled the girl around and saw that it wasn't his daughter, but then in comes the traffickers shooting at him. So he grabs her and the jacket, shoots his way out, drives off. And in my heart, literally in the middle of that big action scene, I was going, think about all the other girls that are left with no dad to come rescue them. What's their future? Rape. All the rest of that day and from on, who knows, till they die, So he goes on, finds out. I won't get into the movie, but that's one thing that stood out. So when I was writing my movie, I was like, no. These girls need to not only break free from this bullshit, they need to come back and gun down and kill all these traffickers.
The Django style.
Yeah. Long before it came out. And this was like 8 years ago. So the process that I went through in writing it was the heart of an activist. Like I'm one of those out there like, no, we're going to tell the story. And I met with a lot of different survivors and got pieces of their story. Is it okay that I tell them? We're like, yeah. So I mixed in a lot of different things and a bunch of research over, the course of a few years or whatever, put it into the script. When Chong read it, she said what she said. Then she told me her story. She started talking about her story and what really went down. And one of the things that was prominent was the situation where they kept these girls in what they call a brothel, but it was just a home, just a big home. And that's where they trafficked a bunch of girls. They kept them all in there. Some, they would work at massage parlors, and, a lot of guys know, but then there's a lot of guys that don't know. They're forced to do this. Like those girls aren't there just sending money back to their family, and this is a choice that they made.
Right.
Like some girls, they start stripping, and then on the side, it's like, hey, you want to do this extra thing? And then they escort, they do a little. This is not by your will. Chong was kidnapped, how this even happened to her. That's a long, crazy story. But saying her name, hopefully people will look her up, and then we'll see the background information on what happened.
Chong Kim, right?
Yeah, Chong Kim.
ChongKim. Look her up, guys.
And so this particular situation that you named that stood out, she told me of a time where, they had to go out, the girls, they had to go and, prostitute on the street, and they had to have a certain amount of money every night, right, brought in to the pimps or the traffickers in the house. And so this one of her girlfriends came back short, like really, really short. And they knew that, these guys will rough you up or kill you. So she had a stash, and she pulled from her stash and covered the girl.
Damn.
Right?
Chong did.
And then when the guy found out, somehow he found out, this ain't your money. You didn't make this tonight. Whoa. This and that. He made her a sacrifice. Now, here's what I want to say leading up to this. In the movie, all the trafficked girls were given little kittens. And the way that they offset the emotions of what these girls had to do on their, 9 to 5, which was even longer, but their work out there with men, which was basically just getting raped, they'd offset it by when they come home, they've got a little cuddly, kitten to play with and nurture. It builds that motherhood in them. And these are all teenagers. All of these girls, they call it aging out. Usually when you hit 18, 19, they kill you or just drop you off, leave you on the streets, drugged up. So it's always usually 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, sometimes 16, 17. This is all stuff that we don't, we didn't grow up on movies about this. All of us have seen crime stories and, cop stories growing up. And we've seen a lot of murder, a lot of death in different episodes of different shows, but they never were dealing with this type of shit.
It's maybe one of the hardest things, too.
It is. Of course. It is, bro. It's hard to talk about. So it's even harder if you can imagine going through it. So one of the things that I would say to people that, have a hard time even digesting this as reality, that this happens, I personally feel like, good. I'm glad. That shows you're healthy. This is not something that healthy people should have in their mind as a possibility. You should never, that's not ever coming in the mind of a healthy person when they see a little kid running around. We think, oh my God, how funny. We remember ourselves. We think about our own kids, whatever, right? You're not thinking like what we're talking about, what we said off mic. It's such a level of darkness that it feels like it's otherworldly, bro. Mm-hmm. That it makes me believe, oh, these niggas is possessed. Mm-hmm. Anybody doing that's not a level of sexuality that's just kind of over here. Oh, it's a little skewed. They just need no. This is where I believe in demons. It takes it to a whole nother level that we can't. So again, when she was sharing this with me, she goes, okay, you remember that scene in the movie and we had all the kittens, and then when somebody came back, didn't have the money, and they killed the kitten and everybody cried, and it was like a horrible thing. Right. She goes, yeah. She goes, well, here's what happened. In reality, she tells me this story. Dude, and thank God we were on the phone talking and not face to face. But she said that when that guy found out that they were lying and, she was covering for her, he got everybody into a room, and here's the thing. Instead of kittens, what these girls were given was children, little babies. Fool. Babies. Which, again, even if you consider this as a reality, and it is, but even if your brain gets to that point that goes, okay, I'm following you, I'm with you, a part of your brain goes, where are you getting babies? So then you have to think about how many hospitals, how many nurses, how many people are paid off to do some shit like this. It's you can't listen. You talk about drugs, fuck drug dealers. Leave those niggas alone. Cocaine, you selling cocaine? Great. Who cares? This is the issue. What about these fucking human beings? Yeah. They're passing baby. What the, bro? That doesn't even sound. We all can say this. We've heard of stories of women leaving their child in a like a trash bin, fire department, that type of shit, right? Yeah. And in our brains, as crazy as that is, we go, damn. All we can say to that is, damn, man, that's crazy. They left a baby there because we know, well, the baby was safe. Somebody took him in, baby grew up maybe or whatever, right? In your mind, that's how you justify not wilding out on that story. But when you hear, no, there are places harvesting kids for crazy shit. Chong talked about, and I'm going to finish this story, but she's talked about how they would get girls in just to rape them to get them pregnant so that they could sell the babies.
Damn it, man.
So a girl is growing up having, and other shit. Like I'm trying not to go down that whole crazy dark path.
But they did kill babies.
Yeah. They did. And in this story right now, the one girl who didn't really have the cash and Chong had to cover for, the guy took her baby and beat the baby to death in front of everybody.
Damn, fool.
Beat the baby to death with a bat in front of everybody, then raped her and killed her.
Damn.
Kush and Kittens, the world's most dangerous podcast.